Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Math with Mr. W. Hope you're having a great day, and today we're going to be talking about rate times time equals distance. Rate times time equals distance. And below it, I've got the word units. Why do I have that? Well, one of the things that we have in beginning at third grade and maybe in the second grade a little bit, and third grade and fourth grade, we find we have these little formulas. But why do they work? They work because of the units. What is rate? Rate is miles per hour. How many miles do I cover in an hour? Kilometers per hour, feet per second. Those are all what we call rate. How fast am I going, or how far am I going in a certain amount of time? So rate, let's go miles per hour. So let's say I'm going miles per hour. Miles per hour. Now, I'm multiplying this idea by hours. But if you remember, this is just like we have fractions, and multiplying fractions, we can factor the hours. So let's factor the hours, and what are we left with? We left with miles. And that is distance. So, because we've done the right process, knowing these two things, our units are correct. You see, if our units aren't correct, then we've done the wrong process. Another example here is cost per gallon. Let's say I'm using cost or dollars per gallon. And if I multiply that by the amount of gallons that I'm going to be putting into my tank, then I can cross these out and it tells me how much money I spent. Dollars. And again, dollars is correct. The units are correct. So I've done it correctly. So cost per gallon times the number of gallons tells me my cost. So we've got the idea of rate times time equals distance, and cost per gallon times gallons equals the cost. One of the things that you can do is allow your students to put down these formulas and actually follow their parents, and when they go to the gas station, write down the cost per gallon, see how many gallons they put in, and figure out the cost. They can also see how much distance they drove, maybe on a trip that they took, see how much time it took for them to go, and maybe they can figure out something else. They can figure out the rate. So let me show you this. If they know the distance between point A and point B, that's the distance, and they know how much time it took for them to go there, that's the hours it took to go there, then that should tell them the rate at which they were traveling on average. Well, distance is miles. This line here is per hours. Miles per hour. Now, how many miles they went every hour? So they went how many miles per hour? What was their speed per hour? Miles per hour. How fast were they traveling? And that is their rate. So rate times time equals distance, but distance divided by the time, or hours, tells them their rate. And if you just use the idea of units and cleverly work this into your problems, make sure that they understand how they work. Your students will soon use ways of converting things from miles per hour to feet per second. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and I hope you'll use it in your classroom. See you next time on Math with Mr. W.